Where are you still holding yourself as a seeker? A seeker of God, a seeker of spirituality, a seeker of joy, wisdom, love, money. I discovered something in my early 20s that really helped me. And that was, I went to an evening satsang, which is sitting with truth, sitting with a teacher or a guru or a master. And I was in my young 20s in Harvard Square in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I used to go to just all the free evenings, the free introductory talks and satsangs and meditations. And I went to one with a fellow named Kirpal Singh, which I knew nothing about except he was from India and he had on the turban and the whole works. And he was in a large church. There were several hundred people, maybe 1,000 people there. And I more or less heard what he said. It made some sense. I was very confused then and wasn't that clear. But the one sentence he said really hit home. At that one moment, my soul woke up, my spirit woke up. I got really present and I got really excited. It was a turning point for me. It was a watershed moment. I switched 180 degrees. I shifted into, oh my God, there's hope for me. There's actually beyond hope. I had a new vision of myself, of life, what life is about. And what happened was, at one point, he said, you are considering yourselves spiritual seekers. And I nodded my head in agreement. I definitely was a spiritual seeker. Every night I went to a different talk or workshop or presentation. And then he said, but you know, if you consider yourself a seeker, then you will always be a seeker because you've actually already accomplished that. You're already fully accomplished as a seeker. You've manifested that. Your wish has come true. Your dream has come true because your dream, your wish, your request, your prayer is to be a spiritual seeker. And he said with a great smile, he said, you are already that. And then he said, congratulations. And I'm like, great. I got his point intellectually. And I realized what he was saying as a concept. But I didn't feel congratulatory. I didn't feel good about it. And then I realized why. Because then he went on to say, what you could do, now that you're successfully a spiritual seeker, you could go after being a spiritual finder. You could move from being a seeker to a finder. Now this was a real new idea to me in terms of myself, maybe other people. Certainly I found, Jesus, Buddha, others, they had Kuan Yin, they had found themselves. They had found the truth, their truth. They had found God, spirit, eternity. Ascended masters had. But I hadn't ever considered that I could, let alone that I had. So he suggested, play with this. Change your self-image, your self-idea of yourself. Change your goal. Change your words. Change your attitude. Change your prayer into, I am a spiritual finder. I have found what I am looking for. And then he also added that the truth is that you already are. I am a finder. In fact, we never lost it. Our attention just went elsewhere. So you might say we're finding our attention again, finding out that we can direct our attention. And so he's suggested playing with, as a suggestion, shifting your attitude, your focus, your words to I have found, I am finding, I am a spiritual finder. And it's in whatever way you can shift your self-identity, the way you're holding yourself. It isn't just the words at all, But words reflect our vibration. Our vocabulary reflects the vibration we're in, the energy, the space we're in, how we're holding ourselves. And our vibration can also in turn determine the vocabulary we use, the words. So whichever way you approach it, however you can get yourself into holding yourself, viewing yourself as a finder. Imagery works, reading other stories, but particularly going back through your life and noticing accurately just the facts. Accurately, where have you in fact found joy, found love, however big or small, found spirit, found oneness, or had a glimpse, a moment of connection or oneness. We all have actually hundreds, if not thousands of those moments. And often what we tend to do is to focus on that it didn't last very long, or that we lost it, or that the person rejected us, or we lost the money, or the job, or the joy, or the health. Instead, to take charge of your attention and decide to only notice what's new, different, moving, alive, fresh, and what is found. My mother had a wonderful pastime that she taught me, and it's called objet trouvé. And in French, that means found objects. So basically, you just go through life, whether it's a city street or a store or any aspect of your life, and you're looking for a gem, a treasure, a found object. It might be a leaf or a feather. It might be a vase or a picture. It could be anything that strikes your fancy, that makes your soul sing, that just grabs your attention and makes you feel a little bit or a lot better. And so this, once you start shifting into viewing yourself as a finder, I am a founder of treasure. I am a finder of objects, people, places, things, and experiences that enrich me, that nurture me. So at the time, in my early 20s, after I went to this talk, I didn't believe it was possible. I didn't think anything was going to happen. And I did play with it. I liked him. I liked his spirit. He laughed a lot. He definitely radiated a lot of joy. So I was attracted to that. So I said, well, I'll play with this. So I started to change, first of all, just the words, just my language. And I told friends, and I told myself every day. Every time I said spiritual seeker, I said, well, I'm retired from a spiritual seeker. I'm now a spiritual finder. And I started to even write down, notice and write down, and tell people, tell myself every day, well, I found joy with this dog. I found health for a while, at this point in my life. I was really happy at one moment yesterday. So I started to notice where I was finding love, joy, happiness, health, and spirit in my everyday life and from my past experience. And I started to only notice those things. It was very powerful. And pretty soon I started actually waking up in the morning, holding myself, viewing myself, feeling myself as a finder, a very successful finder of whatever I was looking for. Love, joy, abundance. And the more I took on that space, that vibration, by the law of attraction, the more I attracted it to me. And I'm still playing with it, going ever higher, being in that space of being. Finding then leads to being. At one point, you're no longer even a finder. You're not actively finding things. You've already found them, and you're in the present moment, simply being those qualities. So if you'd like, play with it. Ask yourself right now, if you like, where am I still seeking something? Where am I still thinking of myself as a seeker? Where am I still holding myself, feeling myself? Where am I still in the vibration of a seeker, of that space of I don't have it? And where could I notice where I've actually found what I'm looking for in life? When are those moments, those experiences? And what is that vibration? How does it make me feel when I have found what I've been seeking? When I'm becoming and being and enjoying in the present moment those experiences that I love. Play with it. Thanks.